Study the pattern below. Sketch and label the fourth and fifth figures. Then predict how many dots will be in the 100th figure. Write an expression you can use to determine the number of dots in any figure. So going back to the directions, our job is to study the pattern, but really you need to sketch it and label. So pause the video, and what you want to do is sketch the fourth and the fifth figures on your paper. I also suggest you to sketch the 1, the 2, and the 3, perhaps figure 0 as well, before you predict. So I'm gonna have you do that on your own, and I will help you a bit with the 100 figure number. Also, our job is to write an expression. So write is the verb, so writing an expression to determine how many dots or the number of dots in any figure number. So it doesn't have to be just 100, could be figure 10, figure 205. So that's kind of what the directions are saying. So by now you should have paused the video and you have the pictures on your paper. So I'm going to share the way I studied and I see the pattern. Now if you see it differently, that's okay. So my way of thinking right now, the way I saw it is, I said, well, figure 1, I saw one group of 3. Figure 2, I saw 2 groups of 3. And I also noticed that that pattern continues. So to predict something, I could use that information. So for figure 4, I would have technically 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 3 dots. So check your, like, did you actually draw that? Or if I said total, that should be 12. So, and remember, you have to do the fifth figure as well on your own. So right now my prediction is saying, well, with a 100 figure I should have 100 groups of 3. So what number would that be? So pause the video and write that in a sentence. So here's the sentence starters if you need. So I'm saying my prediction is that the 100th figure will have or would have, and then give yourself the number. Now, sorry, dot, dot, dot. Now the other direction is saying write an expression. So to write an expression for any number of dots, perhaps we can organize the information in a table first, so that will help me determine. So if I do an organization, I'm going to count figure number, and then I'm going to count number of dots or total number of dots. So when I started with figure 1, I had one group of 3 is what I said, and it is 3, but I kind of wanted to see it. Second one is 6, but I was thinking 2 groups of 3, so I'm writing what I was thinking. Then 3 was 3 groups of 3, and so on. So when I went to the 100, it will be somewhere further, right? So I'm just gonna say I can skip to the 100 figure. I said 3 groups, 100 groups of 3. 100 times 3. So I kind of gave away the answer here, but that was my vision again. So they're saying, well, what will be the expression if you have any figure? So we can use the variable x for any figure number. So what would that look like? So I'm looking at the numbers. So when I had 2, I had 2 groups of 3. 3 groups of 3. So if I have x, it will be a multiple of 3. So 3 groups of x, or x groups of 3. So the expression will be 3x. So actually this is kind of how I wanted to write it. So that concludes this problem. If you haven't done everything, pause the video or rewind and watch it again to catch up.